actually have this super handy list. Say list. This list is going to help us to tell our math story. The first thing on my list says, read the story. You read it?
Read the story.
So what do you think I'm going to do?
Read the story.
Exactly right. So I want you to track my finger. Janaya, track my finger. Thank you for your silent hand in your lap. Here we go. There are 4 green apples and 5 red apples in a bowl. How many apples are in the bowl? Now that I've read the story, we're going to go back to our list. It says, make a mind movie. It says, make a mind movie. This is my favorite part because you get to close your eyes. And you're going to make a movie in your mind. Close your eyes. I shouldn't see you. I shouldn't see your eyes. Listen to my movie in your mind. There are 4 green apples and 5 red apples in a bowl. Martinez. How many apples are in the bowl? Listen again. Keep your eyes closed. Picture those juicy apples in the bowl. There are 4 green apples and 5 red apples in the bowl. How many apples are in the bowl? Now that you've made your mind movie, you can open your silent eyes. Track me. Your hands are down. Now that we've made our mind movie, we're going to act it out. You say it.
Act it out.
I see lots of scholars with their hands, and they're playing with their hands. But during math stories, we track and we listen. So we're going to act it out. I need some helpers to help me act it out. I know who my helpers should be because those scholars are sitting with their hands in their lap, and they have a really straight back. Asitan, come on down. Scholars, what's the first thing that we know in our story? Tyler, what's the first thing in the bowl? What color?
Red.
Red. And how many? Oh, you said red. Let's try the other color. What's the other color that's first?
Green.
Thank you, Tyler. Green. How many green apples are in the bowl? Thank you for showing me with your silent hand, Isabella. 4. So, Asitan, this is our bowl. And how many apples are in the bowl? Green apples are in the bowl, Janelli. Can you be my helper? Stand up. Track Janelli. Janelli, can you take, they're not actually apples, but we're going to pretend because these represent the 4 green apples. Okay, here she goes. Take 4 green apples and put them in the bowl. Let's count with her. Get ready.
1.
Put it in the bowl.
1. 2.
Nice counting. Keep going.
3. 4.
4. Thanks, Janelli. Now we have 4 green apples in the bowl. Is that all that's in the bowl?
No.
Thank you for your silent hands. Tell me what else is in the bowl. Tell me what else is in the bowl.
There are 4 apples.
We already have the 4 green apples. What else is in the bowl?
5 apples.
What color?
Green.
We already have the green.
Red.
Can you pick on somebody to come up? Because you got to come up last time. Quickly. 3, 2, 1. Jaden, come on up. Oh, sorry, Mariah, come on up. Hurry, baby, hurry. Okay, how many apples is she going to put in? How many red ones?
4.
How many red ones?
4.
Mamma mia, how many red ones?
4.
Say 5 red apples.
5 red apples.
Don't get tricked, there are already 4 green. Here we go. Go ahead, Mariah. Hold it as a time. I'm in the way, I'm sorry. 1, count with her. 2, 3, 4, 5. Say, whoa.
Whoa.
We have all our apples.
We have all our apples.
Let's look carefully. Let me see who's sitting with their bottom flat. Let me see who's sitting with their bottom flat. I'm going to come around to show the scholars who have a flat bottom, the 4 green apples in the bowl, and the 5 red apples in the bowl. Go ahead and take a look. That was called Act It Out. That was called
Act it out.
Now we have our apples in the
You can eat it.
bowl.
I could eat it.
I only showed it to scholars who were silent. That's why.
You eat
Let me see who still has a bubble, even though I didn't ask. Say, we did it.
We did it.
Okay. Now that we've read the story, we made a Mimes movie, we acted it out. Now we're going to represent. You say it.
Represent.
That means that I'm going to call in a scholar who has the courage, keep your hands down, who has the courage to show this story on a whiteboard. Who has the courage to represent the story on this whiteboard? Damani. Say, let's do this, Damani. All right. Let's remember our story. Sit. Let's remember our story one more time, Damani. Ready? There are 4 green apples. You say it.
There are 4 green apples
and 5 red apples.
5 red apples.
What would I do without you, Isabella? In a bowl.
In a bowl.
How many apples are in the bowl?
How many apples in the bowl?
Okay, here he goes. He's going to represent. Show that story on your board. Go. We're going to wait and send him shine. Thank you so much to the scholars who are sending him shine. I know he can feel it, and that's helping him in his work. Really good work on here. So now he's going to tell us what does He's going to tell us all about his story, and I'm going to help him do it. So you can turn it around. It looks perfect how it is. He's going to say, first I wrote 4 green. Because in the story, there were what? 4. Next, I wrote he wrote 5R. Because in the story, there were, send him some shine. Last, we need to find out how many apples are in the bowl. Say, way to go, Damani.
Way to go, Damani.
That's pretty amazing. He wrote 4 green because in the story there were 4 green apples in the bowl. And he wrote 5R because in the story there were 5 red apples in the bowl. Last, he needs to find out how many apples are in the bowl. Send him some shine. Say, you go, Damani.
You go, Damani.
Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, what he wrote, and I'm going to write it on our post-it. So track me. Can you send me some shine while I write? Now, Damani, tell me if this is what you wrote. I'm going to write exactly what you wrote. He wrote 4 green because in the story there were 4 green apples. 5R. He wrote 5R because in the story there were 5 red apples. And maybe, Damani, We might even circle it and say, we need to figure out
We need to figure out
how many apples in the bowl.
how many apples in the bowl.
That's amazing. Well done, Damani. Now, hands down, who still has a flat bottom? Let me look. Who still has a flat bottom? I knew it, because you've been in school for 5 months. Now, I'm going to show you the work of a different scholar in a different class, and I'm going to pretend to be that scholar. Okay. So, here I am. My name is, let's make up a name. Who am I? I am Ethan from Nebraska. Okay, I'm Ethan from Nebraska. Hello, Georgetown. Track me. Now, what I did was I drew 4 circles. I drew a picture. Track me. I drew 4 circles. Can you count with me? Get ready. 1, 2. Oh, stop.
Isabella.
That sounded crazy. A little cray-cray. I know you can't see, so you can do it. Thank you. Let's try again. Get ready. 1, 2, 3, 4. I drew 4 circles because in the story there were 4 green apples. So I might even put a G to remember that those were green. Then, or next, those are synonyms, I drew 5 circles. Let's count. Get ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because in the story, there were 5 red. Don't get tricked. In the story, there were 5 red apples. And since I know my letter sounds, Eliana, I know that I can say red. And I can write an R. Does mine look like Damani's? Is that okay? Yes. I'm going to keep going. Last, we need to figure out how many apples in the bowl. So I circled all of them and put a question mark because we need to figure out how many are in the bowl. It's going to be so much fun to turn and talk to a partner, but I need you to track me, Janaya. Joseph, I'm here. Darnell, I'm here. Don't miss the question. Your question today for your turn and talk, Joseph, is how does both Damani's work and Ethan's work show the apples? How does Damani's work and Ethan's work show the apples? I need Tyler to come on up and be my partner for this part.
Joseph.
Come on up. So, track me as I turn and talk to my partner, Tyler. Okay, this is what you and your partner will say, okay, during your turn and talk. You're going to describe how both of the pictures, Isabella, both of these pieces of work show the apples. Track me. Tyler, this picture, Damani's work, shows the apples because he wrote 4 green, because in the story there were 4 green apples, and he wrote 5R because in the story there were 5 red apples, and we're trying to figure out how many apples. But in Ethan's, he drew 4 circles to represent the apples, and 5 circles to represent the red apples. That was a lot, right? Say woo! Woo! But don't worry, we're going to give you some help. Okay? You ready? So tell me about Damani's. Damani. Right. And we're trying to figure out She even said the word all together. Say, you go, Tyler. Now that she's told us about Damani's, now she's going to tell me about Ethan's. What did Ethan do to show the apples? So tell me first. First, he... How many? Then... Last, we need to figure out how many apples
That was awesome.
Did you guys notice how I told her about Damani and Ethan's, and then we switched, and then Tyler told me about Damani and Ethan's work? Not if you saw that. Now you're going to try it with your partner, and I'm going to... Did you get tricked? Silly girl. When I say, but not yet. But not yet. I will say, clap, clap, turn, and you will say, in Damani's picture, he showed the apples, okay? And then I'm going to stop you. And then you're going to say, in Ethan's picture, he showed the apples, okay? Don't worry, I'm going to help you through it. It's going to be tricky the first time, but I'm going to help you through it. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Don't get tricked. Here I go. I'm going to see which partners are going to be the quickest. In Damani's picture, eyes. Let me see who can turn back the quickest. There's a special reason that I turned you back around. I heard this. In Damani's picture. Like this. Track me. In Damani's picture. That's your voice should sound like. Okay, get ready. In Damani's picture. I heard some really great conversations, especially I wanted to shout out Jaden Martinez. Can you send him some shine? He was doing a really nice job explaining what Damani did and what Ethan did in the story. You can put your hands back in your lap. You can go ahead and roll your shoulders back, because at this time we've already been sitting for a while, so you're going to roll your shoulders back to make sure your posture is nice and tight. All right. Now that we've talked to each other about the two different illustrations or pieces of work, we've already represented and shared. Now we're going to retell. Oh my goodness, I just made a connection. When did we retell today? When did we retell today? I remember I wrote the word retell on the board today. Isabella? Charlotte? We were reading a book about the farmer. Remember the story about the farmer? And we would that, and we retold. We retold the story using first, next, and last. You say first, next, and last. And that's exactly what we're going to do right now. Say, oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Track me. Watch me retell the story. You're going to have to do it with your partner. So track me, Eliana. First, there were 4 green apples in the bowl. Next, there were 5 red apples in the bowl. Last, we need to figure out how many apples are in the bowl. Who thinks they can retell our story? Only 2 scholars? This is really easy. We've been doing this for a while now. Come on. More hands. You think you could do it, Layla? Okay, girl, let's do it. First. We need to figure out. Kids, you're free right now. Oh my goodness. Who else thinks that they can retell our story? If you don't think you can retell the story, I'm going to give you a big womp womp. Because that means more money. Haley, go. What color? Good.
Next, it was 5 red apples. Last, we need to figure out how many it is.
You guys are making my heart so happy. Are you ready to turn and tell your neighbor? Isabella, don't you be sad. You get to tell your neighbor. Here we go. When I say but not yet, don't get tricked. You're going to retell the story to your partner. Go. First. Make sure you're whispering. I am so impressed. You guys are rocking my world. Now I'm ready. This is my favorite part, scholars. We get to find the answer. And we call that solve. You say it. Solve. Watch how I solve my problem. I have my 4 green. I have my 5 red. I'm going to count them all together. Hey, don't tell me the answer. Don't steal my brain. Let's count them all together. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop. Let's try that again in a whisper. Get ready. 1. You guys don't know how to whisper? Sit down, Gabriel. Get ready. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You skipped it.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What's the answer to our question?
No.
Stop. Raise a silent hand if you know the answer. Every scholar should raise their hand because I just wrote the answer to our question. Darnell, what's our answer?
9.
9 monkeys?
9 apples.
9 apples are in the bowl. You say it. 9 apples.